Hi everybody, welcome back to Cucina Divino, another episode of our cooking at home. Today we're going to make an easy apple tart, and we're going to make it easy, so we're going to use puff pastry this time instead of an apple crust. And my father, I guess, is where I got this recipe from. He loved to bake, and he wasn't much cooking, but he loved to bake, and I guess that's where I got some of my ideas from, following him around the house doing that. So the ingredients we're going to use today, as I said, we're going to use one puff pastry sheet. We need about 2 apples for this tart. Now I know the old standby Granny Smith apples, but I find them a little tart. And next time you make an apple pie or an apple tart, try these Honey Crisp apples, or you can use Pink Ladies. They're sweeter, and I think they make a nicer tasting tart or pie. I'm going to use about 1/3 of a cup of sugar, 2 tablespoons of butter. We're going to use some apricot preserves at the end, and we have a little bit of triple sec just to give it a little notch. Now here, I've already rolled out the puff pastry. I've let it sit for a while and made it a little bit bigger than what comes in the box. So just roll it just very thinly. Now what I'm going to do is going to score it here, just around the edge, just a little bit. And this, when it rises, will give us a nice crust on the outside. That's what you got to do there. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go back, we're going to get the apples cut, we're going to show you how to do that, and we'll be back when we finish that. See you in a minute. Okay, we're back. So I'm starting to cut my apples. I'm going to show you how to do that. Now, I have a mandolin. If you have one of these, you can use this to cut the apples. I've cut them in half and quartered them again so they'll fit on the mandolin. Now, you just got to watch your fingertips on this mandolin, but this is pretty easy to use. You just slice when you adjust your blade to the right thickness. So I just go back and forth. Just be careful, and you get nice, all the same, very thin. We want very thin slices like that. They're very thin, you can see, paper thin. Or you can use your knife. If you don't have a mandolin, you can always use your chef's knife, which I like to use sometimes, and I just slice them down. They come out pretty much all the same also. And you can do it that way, and you still get those nice thin slices that way. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to try to assemble this tart, and we're going to put the apples on here. What I'm going to do is do one row down the middle, and then I'll show you how to do that. We're going to go from one corner to the other. We're going to overlap these almost to the tops of the ones underneath. Actually, I guess the more you can put on there, the more apples you'll have. They don't have to be exactly even, but we're going to go down the row here. Nothing too fancy. Okay, that one tried to get away, but we got him. Okay, so that's one row, and what I'm going to do now, I'll do the rest, and I'm going to put my marmalade, about 1/3 of a cup of apricot marmalade, on the stove. We're going to heat it up a little bit with a little bit of triple sec, and we'll get that going. And we'll come back when this is all assembled and show you where it goes from there. So see you in a couple of minutes. Okay, we're back. So as you can see, I have all the apples arranged. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put a little bit of sugar on all those apples. Now I know it's sugar, but it's good for you. The apples are pretty sweet as it is, but we just need a little bit. I don't have to put too much. All right, don't keep looking now because I'm still going. Just got to get a little bit on there. Okay, that'll do. That wasn't even 1/3 of a cup, so it was a little bit. You can see how much I put on there. Now we're going to put some dollops of butter, unsalted butter, of course. Just put a few of those on there. We don't need too many of those either. That'll just give us a little nice creamy taste. Okay, all right, one more. One more over there. Okay, so here we go. That's it. The apples are cut, sliced, The border is left open so that we can get that rise on the sides. The sugar and the butter. It's going to go in the oven at 400 degrees for about 20 minutes, I'd say. So let me get this in the oven, and I'm going to put this in the oven, and then when we come back, we'll show you how to finish this whole thing off. In the meantime, I'm going to simmer my apricot preserves, and then I'm going to strain them so that we only get the liquidy. We don't want the pulp in there. So I'll show you how that looks when we come back. So see you in about 20 minutes. Okay, we're back. Oh, I'm not welding anything, don't worry. I'm just going to use my little handy blowtorch. You don't have to do this part, but I like to make it after it comes out of the oven. Actually, it was 30 minutes in the oven at 400 degrees. Just like to touch it up a little bit here with get some coloration on the apples. But sometimes it doesn't happen in the oven. I just think it looks a little nicer. Try not to set anything on fire. So just give it a little color. Just give it a little color. And I think we're all set to go here now. Okay. That looks pretty nice. All right. Next step is that apricot preserves that I melted, that I heated up, simmered with the triple sec. So that's what this, I have that in this little dish here. So now we're going to stir that up and we're going to brush that over the whole tart. Just get that all over the apples. There we go. So as I said, this one took about 30 minutes in the oven at 400. You don't want it to get, too brown. So we're just gonna coat this a little bit. And there we have it, pretty much. Get it all over. Get some on there. Make sure they're all covered. I used about 1/3 of a cup of preserves, 2 big heaping tablespoons, because when you strain it, you're going to lose some. All right. So, voila. Here's your apple tart, French apple tart. And I guess this is pretty much finger food. So the best way to cut this, we usually cut it into 3 pieces going down this way. 1, 2, 3. And the favorite people get the end piece, of course. So you cut like this. And as I said, best way, just finger food. Very good. Delicious. That with a little sip of wine. Perfect. Great for a cocktail party, great for entertaining. Easy enough to make, and it makes a nice appearance, I think. So, until next time, santé, bon appétit, tout le monde a mangé. Au revoir.